as an example with a car, imagine that you have somebody that walks into your dealership and it's a father and he's looking at your cars, okay? And the salesman comes up to him and he says to him, you know, you look like the type of guy that's looking for a sexy car, okay, that's going to attract the ladies. I see you have no ring on. You're a middle-aged man. I'm assuming you want to get some beautiful women riding in your convertible, huh? Okay, so that's what he says. Now, turns out this guy is actually there because in his mind, he's buying a car for his daughter. And he doesn't want a sexy car that attracts people and gets them to ride in the passenger seat. In his mind, what he wants is safety and comfort and security. So this even goes directly when it comes to your sales. This is a very, very, very good example. I actually saw somebody give this example. I don't even remember where, but it's a good example because the buttons are different. If the salesman assumes that in his mind, this is what the guy wants by being a bad salesman, by not getting in communication, he will use the wrong buttons, even in sales. And people do the exact same thing with their marketing. Good example of assume, exactly, making an ass out of you and me. People do the same thing with their marketing. They give them the wrong buttons, okay? So you really need to find what they agree with. Now, what's the common denominator to all these questions? What they like, what they don't like, what they fear, what they admire. What is the common denominator? In car sales, a lot of salesmen assume a lot. When I went to buy a car with the kids, he asked me where my husband was and he called me little lady. I just turned around. Yes, in sales and in marketing, people assume all the time. The common denominator. You're trying to find the thing and what is their emotions in regards to the thing. That thing that gets them to, that button that gets them, wow, to look. And what is their emotion? What is the tone, right? When someone, for example, buys fertilizer, the thing is fertilizers. They're going there to buy fertilizers. That's their button. If I all of a sudden need fertilizers, I will go to the shop and I will look for the marketing message that says fertilizer. True or false? When you walk into a store, all of a sudden you're looking for that marketing message. That becomes your button. Okay? Good, true. But the emotion is either that they are enthusiastic about a beautiful garden that they want, or they want to kill the freaking bugs. Okay? So that would be the two things that is the emotion about the same fertilizer. So that answers your question as well, Pedro. What is the emotion? The thing is fertilizers, but we're trying to find, are they happy with fertilizers? Do most of the people feel like they're buying it to create beautiful gardens, or are they buying it to kill some freaking bugs? Okay? Yeah, or they want to build a bomb. Exactly. Okay, so does that make sense? Good. Makes sense. Excellent. When you take a car to fix the brakes, you can either take the car to fix the brakes because you want an enjoyable ride, or you're afraid of an accident. You might be in fear, and then if you're a brake company, you realize the people are in fear. So I need to promote to them, not come fix your brakes because you'll have a smooth ride, but fix your brakes because you might be at risk of an accident. So you guide your buttons accordingly. You see that? You find the emotion. Wow, yes, it is wow. Okay, when you get that and you incorporate it into your marketing, that alone is a game changer. So the emotion finds the receiver. It is the communication line, and the thing you find is the button. You find a specific emotion that will in general be more dominant, and that's the one you market to, that specific emotion. Okay, but to be honest, the emotions and finding it and all that is a little bit more advanced, but I'm giving it to you now so you start thinking with it, because even thinking with it, you'll be able to guide some of your marketing messages accordingly. For example, with a COVID marketing, would protecting others be more dominant than the fear for their own health? We would have to find the button, but in general, the emotion with COVID was hysteria and fear, and they marketed accordingly. They didn't market like, you know, have a beautiful and healthy long life where you can enjoy the time with your kids. They marketed like you're gonna die and you have to be terrified. So that was the dominant tone and for COVID marketing, and that's what people responded to. So the emotion finds the receiver, okay? So you have a person over here and your marketing is here, and you set out an emotion, and that emotion line is fear. Now, fear gets the person to look at you. Now it finds them, okay? And then the thing is the button. Now we can say the COVID message or whatever our message is. Okay, you get that? But first we have a communication line. And when they feel that they're connected to the fear, they're willing to listen to what's on your line. Good. Now the fertilizer is the button and the emotion about the garden is the line. And now you can send the message, okay? Got it. Good. Wow. Yes. Yes. So you send the message on that line, and you now can control the liking of the prospect, how much they like what you have to say or not. Okay, and they like it by giving you their time, by buying, by being interested, by writing to you, by continuing reading, etc. So what is the sole purpose of a survey? If we have to boil it down at the end of the day, what are we really trying to do with our surveys? At the bottom line, everything included, what are we trying to get when we do surveys? More income, solve a problem, be heard, discover the emotion, find the button, find how we can help, understand their emotion, get their attention, buttons, to see what your prospect's button is. The key is to find the emotion. So the emotion finds the receiver, it's the communication line, and the thing you find is the button. True, John. Discover how to help, get the tuner on our channel, get through to the receiver. Good. So the sole purpose is actually to get agreement. We want them actually to agree with what we're saying, because if they disagree, they scroll. If they disagree, they don't like. If they disagree, they move on. They need to agree with your approach. If you notice that during COVID, the people that said don't be scared, people didn't agree with that emotion. You'll notice that if you are marketing your gardening, if you were marketing to angry people and you said build a beautiful garden, they'd say, look at that Mickey Mouse gardening company. They like to make pretty flowers, and we're here to kill the bugs. So they need to agree with us, and then we can get our message through. Okay? So yes, you're with me. True. Yes, of course. Love it. Yes. Now, in the case of button surveying, we want agreement as to what is the on-off switch. They have to agree that, yep, this is gonna actually get me to listen. That's my on switch. I agree. You found it. Well done. Okay? It makes sense, guys? Brilliant. Yes, makes sense. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. So you ask, okay? You ask 10 people or 100 people, what would you expect from a husband? Okay, that's your question. Okay, with our example here in our survey. 6, exactly. 7 or 70 will give you basically the same answer. Okay, credit card, yeah, friendship and support, loyalty. Let's see what they'll say. Honesty or support, which you guys already said, or love, or maybe nothing. Okay, just please, I'm good. All right, or nothing. Yeah, okay. It's a joke, yes, okay. Now, that is the group agreement, right? Right? They'll find something that generally they agree with. Husbands should be supportive, let's just say. So now when you write any marketing piece, you write something like, if you expect nothing from your husband, you need to read the following. Now you found that button, okay? If you expect nothing, then go for it. The person's like, oh, fantastic. This is what I need from my husband. Just the less is more here, okay? Wow, love it. Yes. Okay. Now it's interesting. Exactly. Okay. Or as an example, okay. Yes, it's hilarious. I love it. Or let's say it was honesty. If you feel your husband is not honest, you must read this piece to the end. Would that get you to read? Not you. Okay. But for some people, if honesty was your button, you need an honest husband, you would read. That would get you to read. Okay? Because you're like, holy crap, I'm not sure if my husband is honest or not. I gotta read. So you found their button. Okay? So the big button. So let's look at the big button here. Okay? The emotion is the line that connects the originator with the listener, and the button turns on the receiver. Okay? You have this emotion of fear. You give the button fertilizer, okay? And boom, the guy is on. Okay. Hitler is a big button for Jewish people. Okay, you say Hitler. If you write almost anything to do with Hitler, you will catch the Jewish people's attention. Now you can send the message. Okay, that's just an example. But if you say Hitler, a person will tune in. It's a big button. Okay? So when you find what your audience's button is, you catch their attention, and the button makes the audience receptive. Okay? Okay? Does that make sense to you guys? The button is what makes them receive. Now you can send your message. Totally. Good, good, good. Sounds like the people who created COVID, they definitely know something about marketing, Anthony. COVID was an excellent, if anything, an excellent example in marketing, and that marketing can sell anything.